So many personal finance books. The Bible should be one. There are several money principles in this book that applies, from earning money, saving money, investing, retirement, wealth management, financial management, and what your overall money mindset should be. Listen to this. A rich man was traveling and he shared his goods among 3 of his servants according to their abilities. To one, he gave 5 talents. What is talent? Irrelevant. What matters is to one, he gave 5, to the other, he gave 2, and to the other, he gave 1. He was gone for several years. He got back and said, "Where's my money?" The one he gave 5 had invested the money and made him 5 more. So he gave him 10. The one he gave 2 did the same, invested it, traded it, made an additional 2 and gave him 4. The one he gave 1 talent to, that servant said, "Listen, sir, I'm good at reading people. I've been with you long enough where I know you very well. I know you're a very ambitious man and you like to make money where you haven't necessarily worked for it. I know you have a lot of drama. You're mean. You're tough. So that money you gave me, I have kept it safely. Here is your 1 talent." And the rich guy said, "Oh, so you know I'm this tough guy, this mean guy, this wicked guy. And you couldn't even do the minimum, which is just put the money in the bank and let it build me some interest. So when I come, I can get my money and interest. You couldn't even do that. What you have, I am taking from you." And it says, "To everyone who has, more will be given, and he will have abundance. But from him who does not have, even what he has will be taken away." Not so Christian, is it? See, the problem is not that this guy just sat on the 1 talent. The problem is he had the ability to work with 1 talent. He couldn't do 5. He couldn't do 2, but 1 he could. And he chose to sit on it out of fear and out of laziness. What are you sitting on? What skills are you sitting on? What money are you sitting on? You can't be passive and let fear paralyze you and let fear of the unknown, fear of the future, fear of failure paralyze you. You have to work with what you have and make it do what it do. It may not be where you want it to be. It may not be 6 figures. It may not be 7 figures, but you have something. You have 1 and you have the ability to work with 1. And so you must work with 1 and grow it and make it do what it do. He who watches the wind, waiting for all conditions to be perfect, will not sow. And he who looks at the clouds will not reap. If you're waiting for everything to be perfect, for you to be able to somehow read the future, you will never plant, you will never sow, and so you will never reap. How many of us have been waiting for the market to crash before we invest? How many years has that been? Laziness is a constant theme when it comes to wealth. It says, "Lazy hands make for poverty, but diligent hands bring in wealth." But it's not just about working hard. The Bible mentions a key secret to building wealth is planning. Luke 14:28. Suppose one of you wants to build a tower. Building a tower is not cheap. Won't you first sit down and estimate the cost to see if you have enough money to complete it? So you want this life where money is not an issue, where you're comfortable? What's the plan? You want a life where you don't have to work till you're 80. You can stop working at 60 and relax and enjoy your life. What's the plan? You no longer want to have financial anxiety. What's the plan? You want wealth? What is the plan? When it comes to financial principles in the Bible, saving is essential, is critical, is expected. The Bible uses a very good example on this. In Proverbs 21, verse 20, it says, "The wise store up choice food and olive oil, but fools gulp them down." You cannot earn and eat it all up. You have to keep some aside. In fact, there's a guy in the Bible named Joseph. We'll call him a treasury secretary. And he got insider information that in 7 years, the market is going to go down. Things are not going to be good. In fact, there'll be no food in the land. Now, he did not let fear take over. He had a plan. His plan was the next 7 years before things go down, we are going to save 20% of everything coming in, all the food coming in, so that at the end of 7 years, we have enough to hold us down during the bad 7 years. As a prosperous nation, as the Treasury Secretary, he had other options. He could have said, "We will strengthen our relationships with our other friends, with the other nations we're friends with, so that when the bad years come around, when things go down, they'll help us out. We can borrow from them, or they can, give us some." He knew that wasn't wise. There's another principle in the Bible, which I'm not going to go into this video because we've heard it so much, and that is that the borrower is a slave to the lender. Some of us, our plan for emergency, our plan for rainy day is to borrow credit cards. The Bible makes it very clear that part of building wealth, part of being financially sound, is to put some away during your years of good. Put some away for when things go down. Because, if there's anything we know with life, it's not a matter of if things go down, it's when they do go down. And depending on your income, perhaps you're not a prosperous nation, 20% may not be doable, but 10% is doable. Live on 90. Make 90 work and put 10 away. If you're getting anything in this video, we are talking about Bible principles. So I know you're not going to live here without giving me the thumbs up. Thank you. Be blessed. The Bible has a plan for retirement. It uses the ant as an example. Listen to this. In Proverbs 6, from verse 6 to 8. Go to the ant, you sluggard. Can I call people sluggard? Can I call people names? Well, sluggard means lazy, right? Go to the ant, you sluggard. Consider its ways and be wise. What should you be wise about? It has no commander, no overseer, no ruler, and yet it stores its provisions in summer and gathers its food at harvest. Now that you are able, now while you were young. This is the time to till the ground. This is the time to work. So you can reap your harvest, and you can have when you cannot work. You can have during the winter months. You can have during your retirement. You have to know your money. Proverbs 27:23. Be sure you know the condition of your flocks. Give careful attention to your herds. Back then it was flocks and herds. Right now is your paycheck, it's your income, it's your assets, it's your investments, it's your retirement, is what you owe, your student loan, your credit card payments, your credit cards, your car loan. It is everything that has to do with your money. Know the condition of your money and pay attention to the herds. How are they doing? Where are they going? Are they well? Do we have a threat coming in? Are things looking like in 7 years are not going to be good? Another Bible principle is that it's not just about acquiring wealth. When you do get the wealth, when you do get the income, you have to stay active managing your money. In Proverbs 24, from verse 30 to 34, it says, I went past the field of a sluggard, past the vineyard of someone who has no sense. Thorns had come up everywhere. The ground was covered with weeds, and stone walls was in ruins. I applied my heart to what I observed and learned a lesson from what I saw. A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come on you like a thief, and scarcity like an armed man. This person already had the vineyard. This person already had the vines. Translation to today's world, this person already had wealth. This person already had money. This person already had that 6-figure job, already had the homes, was already a landlord to many properties. A little slumber, a little rest. And I know the word here, little, is kind of throwing us off. It doesn't necessarily mean you can't rest, because we'll get to that principle. But what it's saying is, when you do acquire the wealth, when you do get the money, when you do get the income, you have to be a good steward of that, or you will easily and quickly lose it. With the weeds growing in, I'm now making 6 figures, and then you don't pay attention, and you let that expensive lifestyle creep in. Or you don't pay attention to your money, you're not a good steward of your money, and you keep committing to all these different things because, hey, I have 6 figures, I have money coming in. And then before you know it, you're so tied in, you don't have cash flow to do what you need to do. Diversify in everything, be it savings, be it income, be it investments. Diversify. Ecclesiastes 11 verse 2, give a servant to 7 and also to 8, for you do not know what evil will be on the earth. The key point here is you never know what will be affected, when or where it will be affected. And so it's only wise to not put all your eggs in one basket. Spread it out. When it comes to investment, spread it out. Not just stocks, not just index funds. I know index funds is great. Not just index funds. You never know. Spread it out. Not just bonds. You never know. Spread it out. Savings account. Don't put all 500,000 in one savings account. Spread it out. You never know. How many banks failed last year? You never know. It's only wise to spread it out. Same with income. Try to spread it out. You can't get income in just one place. And I know this is harder to do for a lot of us. Some of us don't have the side hustles. I get it. So if that's the case, that savings, you better be saving, and that savings should be spread out, because you never know. Remember when I said it's not a matter of if, It's a matter of when. It's wise to plan for when. And if when never happens, great. But if you don't plan for when and when happens, thanks to the internet, building wealth is very easy and very attainable. But the downside to that is there are also some tricky ways to build wealth. The Bible principle on wealth remains the same. Wealth gained by dishonesty will be diminished, but he who gathers by labor will increase. This applies whether or not you're a Christian, because we have sayings and adages outside of the Bible that says the same thing. If I take my kids to, say, Target, and I say, pick a toy, I'll pay for it, boom, it's so easy. They'll grab the toy. I mean, it doesn't even take them that long. But when it comes to their own money that they've earned and they have to spend it, we will be in that Target for like hours. Because when they try to buy something, oh, if I buy this, then I only have $5 left. Oh, I don't want this. Can I get something cheaper? But I don't really like this. And a lot of thinking goes into spending that money. But when mommy's paying, when it's mommy's money, then it applies. The principle applies. Money acquired via dishonesty does not last. It's spent fast because you don't value it as much as you value the one you have worked hard for. All this fishy ways to get money, don't. It's not worth it. Have this in mind so when that opportunity comes around, you understand this is not an opportunity you want to take. One of my major financial principles is one that I read back when I was a teenager and it stuck with me. Didn't memorize the book, the chapter, the verse, but the message stuck and it still stands. I still go by this. It is Proverbs 17:18. One who has no sense shakes hands in pledge and puts up security for a neighbor. Translation: think twice, rethink before you co-sign or become a guarantor for someone else's debt. That stuck with me. In fact, even for my kids, there I say it. When it comes to student loan or whatever, unless I'm balling with money, anything I'm signing for, I know it's something that I can take responsibility for. If I'm signing for it, I know I'm not even looking at that person's money. I'm going, yeah, I can pay this. I can cover this. If I can't, it is not happening. It says one who has no sense. Even though the Bible is all about making wealth and supports making wealth, it reminds us that whoever loves money never has enough. Whoever loves wealth is never satisfied with his income. This too is meaningless. So in all your acquiring wealth, in all you're wanting to be wealthy, in all you're wanting to be financially comfortable, just remember it's okay to leave money on the table sometimes. It's okay to cap your hustle. It's okay to say, you know what, this income per year is enough for me to have this work-life balance. This income right here is enough for me to enrich my life in other ways. Because the fact is, there's always more to be made. This house that you complain is so small was an answered prayer back in the day. What you have now is something you wish you had not that long ago. I remember when, I wanted to make more money. A certain figure was, ooh, that'll be amazing. And now that figure is like, what am I going to do with that? What am I going to do with that? There was a time having 5,000 in savings account was wow. And now 30,000 and like, how far is that going to go? We just bought a new car. And at the time it was the best of the best. And now there are newer cars that are beautifuler, nicer. Not that I care for other people to see my car. It's nice, but I want nice stuff, right? And I'm going, dang it, this car is ugly now compared to the new stuff coming up. Homes, right? We're in the market for homes. We went to look at a house and the pantry was a walk-in pantry. And oh man. And now I'm thinking a walk-in pantry is essential. Have I ever had a walk-in pantry? No. I've been okay with the regular pantry. And now I'm acting like if it's not a walk-in pantry, well, what am I going to do with this regular pantry? You have to put a cap. If you let your quest for wealth tell you where the cap is, you're in trouble because there is no cap. And so you risk putting yourself in crazy position. You risk losing sight of things that matter because you keep chasing this cap that will never show up because there will always be more. Whoever loves money never has enough. Whoever loves wealth is never satisfied with their income. This too is meaningless. There are other ways to break down every single one of these verses, especially if you look at it from the angle of a believer. I've stuck to principles that apply regardless of your belief. I've also kept from speaking about given because I think we hear that so much. But if you guys enjoyed this video and I see this is something you're interested in, there can be a part 2 and part 3 because there's so many other financial principles in the Bible that I haven't even touched. So let me know. I would love to see I'm actually looking forward to your comments. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.